Okay, guys, so we left off, we had done up through 11 on the review. And so now we're working on, I'm just going to make this a full page. We'll just jump down to 12 here. It says find the x-intercept. So that is the same as saying the solutions, right? X-intercepts are the solutions. So I'm going to use and it says find the discriminant, so that's going to be the quadratic formula. So we've got a, b, and c, right? So the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So I'm going to put b is 11, so I'll say 11 squared minus 4. A is going to be, this is negative 1, and then c is negative 25. Okay, so I've got 11 squared is 121. I've got a negative times a positive, or negative times a negative is positive times a negative, so that's going to be minus. And then 4 times 25 is 100. So this is going to equal 21. Alrighty. And so now if I want to do, find the x's, right, the solutions, the x-intercepts, I'm going to say x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of the discriminant, which the discriminant we found out here is 21, all divided by 2 times a, which was negative 1. All right, so that's x equals minus 11 plus or minus the square root of 21. All right, and that's not a perfect square or anything, so I'll just have to leave it like that, all divided by negative 2. All right, so that could be your answer, or if you wanted to write it as two numbers, you'd say, okay, x equals negative 11. Oops. I'm going to back up for a second. If I'm dividing these two right here, right, I'm dividing this, that would be negative 11 divided by negative 2. So that's actually going to be a positive 11 halves. And then I've got plus or minus. And then if I look at this part right here, that would be, this is plus or minus, so the sign is going to be positive and negative. So square root of 21 divided by 2. Okay, so you could split it up like that, or write it all in one thing like this. All right, and then number 13, again, if we want to know the discriminant, that's b squared minus 4ac. So here's a is 1, b is 5, and c is 4. So I'm going to have 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. So that's 25. And this is just, there's one negative, so minus 16. All right, and so that is going to equal 9. So that's positive, right? The discriminant is positive, so that means there's two solutions. And move that positive here. In general, all right, this is positive, so two solutions. Here I've got A is 1, B is 10, C is 25. So that is going to be 10 squared, B squared minus 4 times A times C. All right, 10 squared is 100. There's just one negative, so minus 100. All right, and so that is going to give me one solution. All right, if it equals 0, there's only one solution, because when I do plus or minus the square root of 0, it's 0. All right, and then here I've got A is 2, B is negative 4, C is 3. So that would be B squared, so negative 4. I'm going to put that in, and I guess I should have done these in parentheses, right, b squared. So b squared minus 4 times a times c. So negative 4 squared is 16. There's only one negative, so minus, and then that would be 8 times 24. So that would be negative 8. All right, so that's negative. So that means there are 0 solutions. Okay, so if you were to graph this, 2 solutions means it crosses twice. 1 means it kind of touches just one time. There's 1 point there. And then 0, right, means it's floating up at the top. Okay. Right, these are my two. The x-intercepts are the solutions. Okay, and then now we go to the next one. Identify all the functions that have exactly 1, 0. All right, and this says use Desmos, so we can go ahead and just type those in. So, all right, and instead of f of x, I just like doing y, so I'll say y equals 9x minus 4. So that's linear, right? So it has one solution, right? 1, 0 would be right here, your x-intercept. All right, so I can circle that one. B is going to be 9 squared, actually, well, y equals 9x squared minus 1. All right, and so it crosses, there's 1, 0, and here's the other 0. Right, here are my zeros, and so there are 2 solutions there. And then this one is quadratic as well. Let's see. Squared minus 20x plus 25. So this only touches once, right? This is a double root. And so this would only have, this has exactly one solution. Even though it's quadratic, it is a double root. And then here I've got y equals x squared plus 5x plus 7. So this one is floating up, so that would be 0 solutions, right? There are no x-intercepts, so 0 real solutions. And this would be y equals 2x minus 1 times x plus 5. And so that has 1, 2 solutions, right? Each of these is going to, oh, we wanted 1, 0. So that's it, right? This one had 2, this one had none, and this one had 2. So that's it. Those are your 2 answers. And then now this guy, you've got Galileo dropping a cannonball, okay? If he drops the cannonball, that means that initial velocity is 0, right? And so that means B, that's where there's no B here. We have A here and we have C here. B is 0 because he just dropped the ball. All right, so your initial velocity there is 0. So it's 185 feet above, so that is my C. It says, how long did it take the cannonball to reach the ground? So if you're reaching the ground, then your height is 0. So you put 0 in for H, and then you just are going to solve for T, right? And you could do that using the Pythagorean, not the Pythagorean theorem. You could use that using the quadratic formula, right? Make A equals negative 16, right? You could say A equals negative 16, B equals 0, and C equals 185. Oops. Okay, but remember, if b is equal to 0, then you can use that square root method, right? So I can just minus 185 on both sides. So I get negative 185 equals negative 16 t squared. All right, so I'm trying to get t squared by itself. So I'm going to divide by negative 16, divide by negative 16. So we get t squared equals that, right? So that would be 185 divided by 16. And because a negative divided by negative is positive. And then now what I'm going to do is, remember the inverse of t squared is the square root, right? So I square root both sides. Okay, and now it says round to the nearest hundredth, so I don't have to worry about, doing the ladder or anything. This, if I have t squared, right, so that's the square root of t times t, right, that's a pair, so the t comes out, so that equals t. And then I'm going to have plus or minus, and then the square root of 185 divided by 16. Square root of 185 divided by 16. All right, so I get 3.4. So 3.4, plus or minus 3.4. But now since it's saying how long did it take, well, time has to be positive, right? So we'll say it took 3.4, and then that would be seconds. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, come in and see us in ChillSpot 509 on Wednesday after school or in Ray's on Thursday. Bye.